welcome to the Fluffy Cow Studio. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, give yourself a hug or a pat on the back because you deserve it. It is late. I am tired. I've had a heck of a day and a worse week. Crazy, crazy week. So, I am going to hop to it really quickly tonight. And I probably will study and slur my speech because I'm really tired. But with that being said, we're still working on our skull and we are going to continue working on it today. I think that we can get started right about now. All right, I'm putting some highlights on those little dot things that I don't know what they are. And I'm just highlighting kind of the top parts of them or just kind of giving them just highlighting the tops or the sides, kind of the top and side a little bit. And so the back side kind of has a little shader, and I'm just kind of going over each one of those little dots and just kind of the top and the side, and then I keep going over it if I want it to get brighter and however I want it to be. But you can see that they're starting to look like little dot things. I don't know what they are. But we're just using a titanium. See? I told you I was going to slur my speech and do all crazy things because I'm so tired. It's past my bedtime. And I'm back to using titanium white and I'm just kind of going over the burnt sienna so you're getting kind of a brownish light color. And I'm just doing the tops and the front side so it looks like the sun's hitting them. Now I'm going to make me a more defined line right there, just along the horns, and right behind those little round things. And now I'm taking black and I'm just going to go in between those little dots so that I can define them a little bit better, especially because I kind of lost it when I made the second row of dots. And now I'm just kind of highlighting some more on that horn and leaving my dark parts because I'm really wanting that shadow to you to be able to see. I'm using titanium white right now. And I'm just going along the I'm just kind of going along the right side. And I'm just going across to the skull. I'm taking that white and I'm kind of curving it around and just taking it over to the skull head. I think here I may have mixed a little bit of violet in with that, but I am not sure if that's where I did it or not, or if I did it later. So we're going to go with the titanium white for now. Now I'm putting the titanium white all over again. I'm coming in and going over all over my everything, just kind of whitening it, lightening it up. Boy, this is going to be an interesting video. I'm just trying to lighten with the titanium white. And I'm bringing this closer so you can see. Okay, I'm using violet, and let me tell you what happened. I looked at the picture that my niece wanted me to paint for her again, and I realized that they had the stripes, these kind of lines going across, and that's the one she wanted, so we're kind of changing midstream. I don't like doing that. I like to have the finished product when I put it on my canvas, but I couldn't find the one she wanted, and so I drew this one, and then I needed her, when I seen the one that when I found the one she wanted, then I'm like, oh, I got to change some things up here a little bit. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of changes. But right now, I'm just doing, um, going along those cracks and with some white titanium paint. I'm having really issues with this easel. It keeps wanting to slide off my table. Maybe I should put a little bit of hot glue on the bottom of it because that would keep it from sliding. Okay, now I'm just doing white because I'm trying to really bring out that eye and all these other little facial things that I'm doing, the little cracks and things. Okay, I'm doing a little burnt umber on that eye just to give it a more shadow, looking like it's, and I'm just doing some more blending in. Okay, I'm taking my liner brush, and I think this time I'm using a little bit of violet, but I really like the sienna better, so I think I did a little, no, this is the burnt umber. I'm sorry, I'm getting everything confused. Yeah, I'm using a little burnt umber to go along that eye. And now I'm using the um, violet again. I do a little bit of violet and then I go on both sides of it with the white. I really want these things to pop. So that's why I'm making sure I'm getting, a lot of bright white so that it really brings out that socket or the eyebrow. Okay, I'm taking my white, again, I'm using white, going around that eye again. I just really want to make that really defined, really bright. And there, I'm just continuing to go over that eye, underneath it a little bit. And as we put a little more shade and stuff, you will see why we chose to go with that. Okay, now I'm taking the violet and I'm just going to take some of that violet and I'm going to go around those little cracks and kind of in a minute here you'll be able to see me doing more with the eye socket, but right now I'm doing those stripes that I told you. I don't know what they were, but she really liked them, so we're gonna put them on. And I'm just using the violet. I'm just kind of going across there, the top of the head there, and I'm just using some white to highlight um, in between those little stripey things. I'm just doing some white. I'm kind of going straight across there. When I get done, it'll look more like this little part is kind of hanging over. And you will see that when we put our shadows in. Right now I'm just blending. I took a little brush and blending. Okay, I'm taking some more of that violet and I'm taking it straight across to give the illusion of them stripes. Okay, I'm taking the violet lavender and I'm going down around that crack. I'm bringing it around my their eye too. There is a little piece of right there. There is a little bone, and that I want that to be set back a little ways. So we're gonna take some lavender and we will be putting that back, or oh, I don't know what I'm saying. It's too late. But I'm just brushing and blending, and I'm going straight across because of the lines that she wants the face to go. And as we get going on, you'll see more what I mean. Okay, and now I'm kind of going underneath where the eye socket is, right there. And I'm putting a little bit of, I don't know if this is violet or if it's the burnt umber. It looks more like the burnt umber right there. So I'm probably just putting a little bit of burnt umber there, and then I'm going to lighten it up. I want it to be just a little tiny bit darker in some places. Around the edge I want it to be really light. But you can kind of see the eye, that bone is going down. And now I'm taking some, I actually am using violet right here. And I'm going around, and I'm going to call this the cheekbone. I'm going to take that and going to blend it in. I'm going to put a little dab there to kind of make it look like it's the cheek, like it's a little bit of a round. And then I'm taking my brush and I'm taking some titanium white and brushing downward. And now I'm just going around the nostril. Can't see that because of how the camera is set up, but I'm just taking that around the nostril. I hope that you cannot hear my cat. It's late, and this is the time of night she goes nuts and starts playing and scattering things around, so hopefully you don't hear her. Okay, I'm just using white right now, and I'm just trying to highlight around the nostril cavity. And I hate it when I get out of there's because you can't see what I'm doing out of camera. Oh my hell, I am really stuttering. Okay, now we're going to just keep doing the white and highlighting. I apologize for my language. I did not intend to, you know, use vulgarity here. Okay, I'm using that lavender again, and I'm just going over where that crack kind of thing is. I guess they're cracks, I don't know. Markings in the skull. And I'm just taking my violet and I'm kind of going straight across. Now I'm taking my titanium white and going in between those lines. Okay, now right here We are going under, there's a triangle-like thing, and I'm just taking my violet and I'm kind of making it look like there's the skull and then there's a bone that sets right kind of underneath and then one that's a little bit deeper. And we're just kind of making that look like that's what it is. Going back to the eyebrow and the eye in that area. Now I'm taking the white and going across those little lines. And of course I am blending things in. Okay, I am just highlighting around that crack in the front of the crack. Okay, I'm taking some violet and I'm just kind of defining that line a little bit, and now I'm taking a little brush to blend it in, a clean dry brush. Now I'm taking some white and highlighting up on the top and on that edge. And that is just, I'm using the straight edge brush here, very small, probably a half inch maybe. Well, I don't think it's that much. It's very small. And I'm just making these things just a lot brighter. I'm just trying to get the illusion that there's, I don't know if there's cracks going straight across or whatever, but that's, and here's a there's closer view. Okay, right here I'm working on that triangle. I'm using some violet and I'm going kind of tinting or shading the the very lowest part of that, the lowest bone that's in there. Now I'm doing white to highlight that, the top bones. Again, I'm going over with some violet to kind of give it a shadow to look like it's deeper down, and we are blending that with a dry brush. Okay, now I'm kind of going around the eye with the violet. I'm following the lines, but if you see, I'm kind of bringing out the eye every time I do this, the eye thing comes a little bit more defined. And so I'm just putting some violet on and shading it, but I'm blending it in as I do it. And these are the lines that we drew on beforehand. Okay, and I'm just gonna keep working on that. I'm just highlighting that bone right there. And now I'm gonna come over to this nose area and I'm going downward on the brush strokes. Because I want to get that lighter. And just blending things in, using some white and blending things in and keep highlighting. Now I'm using some violet and just kind of defining that line right there, that little crack. Now I'm going over to the left side and I'm going to start taking some white and we're going to start lightening this side up. Even though it's the shadow side, we are going to lighten it up a little bit. And I'm just brushing it on with, I think it's either a 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch brush, a flat brush. I think it's just a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch instead of 3/4, sorry. Okay, now I'm going with my liner brush and I'm kind of just, actually that's not my liner brush. I still have that little flat brush. And again, fighting with the easel. I really think I'm going to try sticking some hot glue on there and seeing if that'll hold it in. Okay, I am right now using some, it is, oh, I can't even pronounce this. And those lines that we drew on there, the cracks that we drew on there, we're just following those cracks and I'm putting some blue, and this is a primary cyan, or maybe, yeah, cyan. Maybe it's cyan, I don't know. I'll leave it in the description below so that you can look and see the colors if you want to. But right now I'm just kind of highlighting that eye brow and I'm toning down the blues. I'm hoping that when we get this done, these blues and violets will be very subtle, subtle, be very subtle. But it's but you know you'll still be able to see them, but they'll be really subtle and they will help with the shading and things. Okay, I'm still going over that eyebrow with white, and I'm going straight across to get that effect that she wanted. Okay, now I am using burnt umber, and I'm going to go over everything I just did. The reason why I'm doing that is because I want that straighter effect, the effect that I put on the other side. And so after all that work to lighten it up and I bring in the burnt umber again and make it darker. But I wasn't liking that eye. They were too different. I know that, you know, they are, but so I wanted to make it so that the I can make the eyes more the same but a little different, you know, not, you know, a great big eyeball right there and the other one not so big, but anyway, so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. There is a method to my madness. Right now it doesn't make much sense, but you'll see as we get going, which will probably be in another video because I'm trying to keep these short. A lot of people don't have hours to spend watching things like this, so I'm going to end this shortly, but I just, right now, I'm just, you know, after I redid all that, I'm taking some highlights and I'm just kind of going over, kind of like, so it's kind of in more cohesive with the other side and it's not so different. And so that's kind of what I'm doing right here, just kind of um, going over some of those things so you can't see them, so we can, some things you can see, some of the lines you can see, but some of them you can't. And so I'm just kind of doing that so that I can redo this to make it look like the other side. And you won't see that now in this video, but it will make sense. I was going to cut it out, but I thought, you know what? People need to learn that when you're painting and you make a mistake, there's always a way to fix it. It's what Bob Ross says, we don't make mistakes, we have happy accidents. And I actually found that maybe I like this way, doing it this like this a little bit better, but right now I'm just toning down those colors and just toning it down and bringing the white to tone it down. And it's going to be pretty harsh right here until we come back to it, but I'm just going to tone it down. I think I had a little bit of some unwanted color on that side, so that's why I kind of went over it again with some white on the right side. Okay, now I'm getting a better base and pattern for this other eye. As you see, I kind of went over all of the stuff I drew on there. I hate doing paintings like this where I change and I have to try to draw or whatever while I'm doing it rather than, I like having it planned out. But, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, now I'm taking some more of that blue. What did we say? It was primary cyan. It's spelled C-Y-A-N. Is that cyan? I'm trying to get the eyebrows kind of shaped so they coincide with each other. Well, we are coming to the end of this video. Thank you so much if you popped in and watched it. Sorry for my slurred speech and my grogginess. It has been a busy, busy, busy week. No excuse, I know. You guys deserve better than that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you like this, hit the like button. If you want to subscribe, I'd sure appreciate it. And next time, I don't know if we're going to do a craft, give ourselves a break, or if we'll be doing some more on the painting. Depends kind of on my work schedule, and it has been crazy. I hate when you've been off work for a while and then when you go back, it's like, oh, so hard to get into it. And seems like when we go back to work each year, it's really, it's feast or famine all the other times of the year, but when we first go back, it's just pedal to the metal. Well, you guys have a good night. You're awesome. Believe in yourself. You're worth every single minute of your life. So live it up, live good. Thank you, and goodbye.